Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and welcome to the show, y'all. Look here. When they get ready to ship you out to the penitentiary, they come into the pod or the building or whatever floor you're on, and they scream out and yell out your name, right? And they tell you bag and baggage, right? What that means is pack up. You're rolling out. You're heading to the penitentiary. Head to the penitentiary. And that is exactly what they did to Cecil. When they called his name, he gets up groggy because he been smoking that weed laced up with that white girl, and he is ready to roll. It's time to go. He ain't got much. He ain't got much to take with him at all. He got some shower shoes and some underwear and t-shirts and socks. That's all he got. He finna get issued everything different when he gets to where he's going. That's it. He's got his toothbrush and some soap and toothpaste and deodorant, and it's time to go. And some shampoo. It's time to go. So they take him downstairs and they load him up with 5 other individuals, and while they're on the bus, they're all talking and whispering because every single one of them are new buddies. They fresh meat on the rock. They scared. They are scared. They don't know what's going to happen. So they're talking about all this and that and sticking together and all these different types of things, because that's what happens when you're on your way to the penitentiary and you don't know what's going to happen. You've heard the stories. You've seen it on TV, but now you finna be a part of the movie. And they don't know what to do. They are afraid. They are terrified because this is going to get real. They don't know what to think. So Cecil, he's sitting there with the chains on. They got on shackles. They got on the handcuffs. They got the chain around their waist. Ain't no getting away from it. They don't let you run. That's physically anyway. But see, he's thinking about what the sheriff told him. Why would he lie to him? He's telling him he can't do it like it. You're not going to be able to make it like it. So he tells himself, I'm through. I got to face this. I can't run. Come on now. 24-year-old college student. He don't know what to do. He's just telling himself whatever he got to tell himself in the moment, because the next moment, his reality is going to change. They're on the road. It takes them about 2 hours to get to the penitentiary. When they get to the penitentiary, the bus pulls up. And he could see in the distance people walking around. They all got on blue. And they got a stripe down their leg. And they look like they're having fun. They walking and laughing and talking. He said, I'm wondering if are those inmates. And he's looking, all 5 of them are looking. They trying to see what they can see and what's going on. So they take him inside the building and they tell him to strip. Yelling at him like they in military boot camp. Go in that cell, strip all the way down, bucket naked, bend over, spread the cheeks, squat and cough. It's so fast you're panicking, you don't even know what to do. You can't follow all the orders at the same time. And when they finish, they give him a bag. It's got clothes in it. They done gave him their sizes. They got the size of the pants, shirts, everything that they're going to need, boots and everything. They tell them what housing unit that they're going to live in. They give them a pamphlet that's got all the rules. They send them to orientation. They're sitting in orientation, waiting on the people to come and tell them everything that they need to tell them about getting jobs and how they're going to function for the next however many years that they got, and how they expect them to obey and comply with the rules. They don't know what to do. Everything is fast. They're panicking. They move Cecil and another guy to one of the worst buildings on the compound. It's known as Iraq. That's what they call it, Iraq, because of the violence. It's dog eat dog in there. They don't play. You better find a way to be useful to the prison economy, or you're going to get gobbled up. See, if you don't get in the lane to be useful, somebody's going to make you useful to them. You understand what I'm saying? So when they get in there, Cecil, his cellmate, is somebody that spooks him just by looking at him. Big dude, about 6'2", 6'3", look like he can lift all the weights on the compound, right? And he's got these lightning bolts on his face, and he's bald headed and tattoos everywhere, and he's got his shirt off and just his pants, and he's looking at him. He said, "What you in for?" Cecil looks at him, he tells him, he said, "I got a aggravated assault charge with a deadly weapon. He said, let me see your paperwork. Cecil don't understand what that means. He said, man, let me see the paper that shows you, tell what you just told me is true. So Cecil gets to digging through his bag. He give him the paper. He looks at it. He said, all right, you good. I'll let you stay. Cecil looking at him like, I got a choice? And the dude just laughed at him. He said, this your first time in, right? He was like, yeah. He said, I'm going to train you. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know so you don't become fresh meat out there on the rock. So Cecil tells him, thank you, man. And the dude just laughs and grins and turns his back on him and walks out the cell, right? When he comes back in the cell a few minutes later, Cecil got his back turned to him. He taps Cecil on the shoulder. As soon as Cecil turns around, he hands him one. Drops him. Knocks him over to the bunk. He gets on top of him and he straddles him. He tells him, he said, look, what I tell you to do, you do. When I tell you to do it, you do it. And anything else, you're going to have to pay. You understand? Cecil looking up at him. This man is straddling, right? He can beat him and do whatever he wants. He said, yeah, I understand. He said, no, you say, yes, sir. He said, yes, sir. Cecil is a 24-year-old man, y'all. He just got punked out. Just got punked out. But see, let me tell you something. See, what Cecil don't know, he's going to find out in a few minutes, is that his cellie is a hardcore addict. Hardcore addict. So his cellie leaves out of the cell and comes back in, and he's got this little piece of paper. And he sees it. Cecil's looking at him. He grabs his ink pen. One of them clear ink pens, you know what I'm saying? And he burns the paper and he inhales. He inhales the smoke. And within seconds, Cecil, he's watching him, and this dude, he transforms from this big menacing monster to this useless clump of clay. He's nothing, he's drooling. And he's standing there, he's frozen, and he's just staring into space as if he's seeing something that's going on in another dimension. And Cecil is just watching him. He's afraid to say anything. He's afraid to move. But he gets up and he tries to walk out the cell, and his cellie is just standing there. His eyeballs move and follow Cecil, but he don't turn towards Cecil. And his hands are stuck and frozen in front of him with his fingers spread apart. He can't move. And Cecil sees that he's trying to open his mouth and say something, but the words are not coming out. And he goes outside the cell and he leans on the railing and he puts his head down and he says a silent prayer, like, what have I gotten myself into? A few minutes later, his cellie is back to normal. And he comes out, but he's high. And he's telling me, he said, hey man, don't worry about what you just saw, man. He said, that was a good piece right there. And Cecil is looking at him. He don't know what to say. 1 minute this man is talking to him peacefully. The next minute the man hit him in the mouth. He don't know what to do. He don't know what to say. This is the environment that he's in now. Wait a minute. It's too much. So day after day, week after week, month after month, the same thing, the same routine. He's beating Cecil. He's letting him do this. He's beating him up again, and he's talking like he's a friend to him. It's domestic abuse in there. And everybody knows what's going on, but then Cecil realizes, wait a minute. I can't take no more of this. And if you can't beat him, join him. Because Cecil had been to the police. He told the police what was going on, but they wouldn't move him. They told him, you got to deal with that. You can't run to us every time you have a problem. So he decided he couldn't take no more. Like I say, he's not a violent person. See, a lot of people would have put in work. But he just wanted to survive the time he had. He didn't want to go through all of that. He just wanted to make it home. If you can't beat him, join him, he said. And that's what he did. So the next time the dude was sober, he said, next time you get there, let me try that. And if you want to understand and listen to how this unravels, tune in to the next episode, right? Because you're going to see and hear something that you ain't never heard before. This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I say peace, y'all.